Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, before we get into the video, I just want to say that today's one is completely unscripted. I didn't even write down the bullet points I usually do have in front of me when I'm recording a video, so yeah, I just wanted to mention it. Let's get into it. I actually like the new Battlefield 5 roadmap, and here's why. Before I get slaughtered in the comments, which I know will happen, but I just want to say, I actually like the current plan for Battlefield 5 for the next couple of months. And the reason is, I didn't have high expectations from DICE regarding the content in Battlefield 5 without premium. Now, I know, if you guys are actively watching my videos, and some of you are, which I'm super thankful for, you already know I've mentioned this couple of times, but hey, I want to mention this for all of you guys who didn't watch the previous videos. I did talk about it back in 2017, like 16 months ago. And here we are on the March 23rd of 2019, and the general audience of Battlefield 5 has finally realized that Premium Pass was actually a good solution. Now, again, I don't want to boast about it or brag about being right. Yes, it feels good to be actually right, but I've made this video 2 years ago. I've talked about it, I've explained it, and I've been called out to be an idiot for saying such things. I also made a video discussing the Battlefield 5 roadmap when they released it in like summer holidays 2018, somewhere around that time. Not really sure about the exact date, I don't really remember, but I did make those videos, I did talk about those issues, and like, again, it's not about me bragging, but I didn't have any expectations at this point. I knew it will happen. I've seen what was happening with Battlefield 5 since the release, and I knew there won't be 5 maps per month, there won't be even 1 map per month, because that's not how the live service works. And what I find incredibly funny, at least personally, is that majority of the player base is realizing it now, during Battlefield 5 lifecycle, but at this point, it's already too late. Like, they are not going to implement premium in the middle of the Battlefield 5 lifecycle, so we either have to wait for the next Battlefield to come out, which we don't know when will happen, or it will never ever come back to premium because, well, no one wanted premium in the first place, so we have the glorified live service. I feel that majority of the player base still doesn't realize, with Premium Pass, the people who actually paid for the Premium Pass paid for the new content. We paid for the content. And with live service, we're not paying for it, so like, how can you demand something if you didn't pay for it? It's like, I'm not trying to defend EA DICE here and justify what they're doing, but how can you expect to receive a content you didn't pay for? You didn't pay for 4 maps in the first 3 months after the game came out, like you did in Battlefield 1, or Battlefield 4, or Battlefield 3. You didn't pay for it, so don't expect anything to happen. It is really that simple. You pay for the product in advance, and you demand to have the product delivered to you in a good state. You do not pay for the product, you have no right to actually demand it because you didn't pay for it. And before anyone puts an argument saying that microtransactions are funding Battlefield 5, no, they're not. There isn't a microtransaction option in Battlefield 5 at the time of me recording this video. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot pay for anything in this game with real money, with real currency. All you have is company coins, which are worthless. I honestly don't get why everyone feels so entitled to getting free stuff in gaming, which, by the way, this has been happening for years when the premium passes were coming out, that everyone was shouting, oh, we shouldn't be paying for this, no, we shouldn't be. Do you go to the dentist to get the fillings done and demand free teeth cleaning or free teeth whitening? Because you came for the fillings, you paid the entry price of, I don't know how much fillings are outside of Poland, let's say 200 bucks. You paid 200 bucks and now you demand extra teeth cleaning for another 100 or teeth whitening for another 300 because you came to the dentist? That's literally the whole scenario of Battlefield 5. No one has paid for the additional content, so what are we expecting? What can we expect if we didn't pay for anything? Outcome: nothing. And as I've mentioned at the beginning of the video, I actually do like the current roadmap. We're getting esports mode in June, we're getting the Firestorm on Monday actually, in 2 days, so that's also fun. We're getting the new map in May, and yeah, we will see how it goes. I'm actually excited for the esports mode because we've actually never had like a proper esports mode created for Battlefield. I know we had the squad obliteration back in Battlefield 4, but here in Battlefield 5 we get brand new game modes for esports and also specifically designed maps, so it's not going to be forcing squad obliteration onto the normal maps from the vanilla game, but actually properly designed maps for esports for competitive 5v5. I don't know how it will come out to be in the end, but I'm pretty excited to actually try it out. I don't want to sound like a broken record repeating this once again, but around a year ago at this point, I've released this video talking about esports and competitive being planned for Battlefield 2018. I didn't call it Battlefield 5 at that point because we didn't even know the name of the game at this point in time when I released the video, but I was laughed at because of that video. It is honestly such a bizarre situation to be in for me, because at the end of 2017 I've told people what will happen if there is no premium pass in a Battlefield game. At the beginning of 2018, if I'm correct with the date, I've called the theme of Battlefield 5 before we actually got to see it. Then I've talked about esports, which will come to Battlefield 5, based on the reports for investors and all that stuff that EA actually puts out publicly. And again, it's completely not for me to brag about it or show off. Yes, it feels good to be right, especially years in advance, but that's not the point. The point is, I like the roadmap, because I didn't expect anything more for a year. I knew it will happen years in advance, so, like, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. If you've been playing Battlefield games for the past couple of years, and I have, I've played them for around 7 years at this point almost, which is pretty crazy. I'm 19, turning 20 later this year, in August, so at this point, I've already had enough time to see how premium passes work, how DLC releases work, how all of this goes, how the game modes, how the maps die out. I've seen this cycle repeat over and over again in every single Battlefield game. And if you gather all of the information you have from playing the franchise for so long, you will be able to come up with the same conclusions. I'm not doing anything crazy here, foreseeing what will happen in a year with a Battlefield game, like back in 2017, talking about Battlefield 5. It's not a miracle. It's a common sense. There is no money for creating new content coming in, no one paid for the content to be created, there is no obligation to create the content. The roadmap didn't specify the specific amount of content. It was all general. They never were expected to actually deliver something specific in that case. They never specified the amounts of maps, they just put out the location. They've never specified when it will happen. They've said in Chapter 3, well, Chapter 3 starts in March, but it lasts all the way till June, so they might as well release the map in May. And also, it's not like we're all stuck with only one game on the market. We have so many options to pick from, so if you don't like Battlefield 5 content at the moment, you can just go play a different game and come back when the content that you like will actually be released. It's that simple. No one holds you in Battlefield 5. There is plenty of games to choose from. And I'm well aware that this video is worthless at the end of the day, because even if I reach 10,000 of people, which is very highly unlikely given the fact how poor Battlefield 5 content performs on YouTube, still, even if it's 10,000 of people, we still have millions left who don't hear about it, so whatever. It's just my take on the roadmap. I like it. I didn't expect much. I knew it will happen. That's it for the video, guys. As always, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I see you on the battlefield. See ya!